Morning Mail, and on the outside Enjoyment. 2 lengths away Indianapolis, followed by Infantry, and further back Sightseeing, and last of all is Planet Hollywood. They've got 1,700 metres to go, and Kay Kone, the 7-year-old, leads by a length. Second Enjoyment on the outside of Morning Mail, and a length away Indianapolis from Infantry. Second last Sightseeing, and Planet Hollywood is at the tail at the 1,500 metre mark, about 8 off the front. Going along the back, Kay Kone's relaxed pretty well in the lead and shows the way by a length. Second placing on the outside is Enjoyment, and third over on the inside Morning Mail, followed by Indianapolis, who's effectively 1 out, 1 back. Then came Sightseeing on the inside of Infantry, who's off the inside now, and last is Planet Hollywood. There's been no speed on here as they work towards the 1,200 and past it now, and Kay Kone is the pilot. The outsider of the field leads the way. They went the first, let's see, up to the 500, or that sectional of 121.4. As they go on the side, it's Kay Kone by a length. Second on the outside, Enjoyment. There's no change here. Morning Mail looks to be pulling a little bit in third place. On his outside came Indianapolis, being tracked by Infantry from Sightseeing, and last is Planet Hollywood. Now the runs start to come. They race towards the 700 now, and the leader Kay Kone from Enjoyment. Morning Mail the inside, needs a bit of luck. Ridden along Indianapolis. Infantry still well back, about to be taken to the outside by Boss. From Sightseeing, Planet Hollywood, 500 out. Kay Kone's going all right. He's a half in front of Enjoyment. Morning Mail's bolting. There's no run at the moment, nor for Sightseeing. Indianapolis pulls out. Now Morning Mail's trying to switch around his heels, but he can't get through at the moment. Wide out, coming at them, Infantry. Planet Hollywood from the tail. Morning Mail can't get out. The leader, Enjoyment, cut Morning Mail off. Wide out, Indianapolis. Here's Planet Hollywood. Planet Hollywood from last is starting to swoop upon them. Out wide on the track, Planet Hollywood raced up with Enjoyment. In the centre, Indianapolis is coming again. Planet Hollywood on the inside, Enjoyment. They hit the line, close to a dead heat. Planet Hollywood or Enjoyment. Nothing in this, they're wide apart. Third Indianapolis and fourth Morning Mail. Barrier 1 no good to him. He couldn't get a run. Followed by further back Infantry from Kay Kone and Sightseeing. Close this. Planet Hollywood, normally you've got to go the outside here. I don't come here very often, but it might be Planet Hollywood out wide. Luke Levy for Neville McBurney. We stand by for these numbers. 2:33.3 is a slow time. 2:33.3. And Planet Hollywood wide out. Enjoyment, the inside is right there. Now that camera is virtually on the line. That would be on the line there. And looking at that, the inside might get it. Looking at that, that's just a fraction past the line where that's been stopped. But I can tell you that that particular camera is directly on the line. Planet Hollywood and Enjoyment have dead heated. 2 and 7. Third is number 5, Indianapolis. Close up behind them, Infantry and Morning Mail. Beaten about 3/4 of a length, but with more to offer. So,
it's a Dane on the outside. I say the outside, it's actually number 1. It's drawn the outside rail. As the starter says go, away they run. Walnut looked a bit slow to get going. First at it, Sedaine from Gift Bouquet got out well, and so did Melbourne Park, showing speed. And Walnut is going through between horses there towards the lead, followed by Rouge Fur. And back in behind them, Petite Falou being followed by Stenard. Down on the inside, going very fast is Derham with Sir Talaga and Jill Strike. Denajaya down into the flat side rail with Diamond King. So there's 5 coming down the flat side, and the rest of them coming down the outside rail, where Walnut has dashed to the lead from Petite Falou. In behind them is Stenard being followed by Sedaine. Gift Bouquet behind them, Melbourne Park. And then Grego at the head of the others, and further back in the field at the head of the rest of them, honourable mention as they race towards the course proper. Down on the inside, Derham is tackled by Sir Talak, and Danajaya joining in. Walnut down the outside is clear of it. Sedaine followed by Gift Bouquet on the flat side now. Danajaya race to the lead here. Walnut coming down the grandstand side, but Danajaya is clear on the flat side rail. Walnut down the outside, running on pretty well. Walnut on the outside coming after Danajaya as they go to the line. Danajaya the inside, and Walnut deeper on the track in the photo, which will be called for, followed by Sir Talak, and back in behind them came Derham, followed next time in the event by Stenard, and then came Jill Strike, followed by further away in the field by honourable mention who made up ground, and behind them it's a Dane, Gift Bouquet, followed next time over on the inside Rouge Fur, followed well back by Chicago Clip, and Grey goes a long way back with Petite Falou and Melbourne Park back towards the tail of the field. Judge calling for the photo, opposite sides. Danajaya on the inside, and Walnut, and Danajaya's got it. Danajaya in the photo. He's just got in too, as you see there, from Walnut. Well, with a naked eye, you'd probably say that Denajar's won by nearly a length. But you've always got to keep your guard up with these horses down the outside, and Walnut has just failed to get him, obviously. 3, 2 and 10. 3, 2 and 10 official placings. There's the finish. Denajar just holding out Walnut, and there's not much in it. And number 10 was third, and that was Sir Talek, ridden by Grant Cooksley. 3, 2 and 10, number 3 Denajar, $6.90 and $2.20. Defeats number 2 Walnut at $1.50 and number 10 Sir Talek at $4.70. So those horses that elected to come down the inside, as far as Denajar is concerned, it's paid off, and it's just held out Walnut. I reckon another 2 bounds and the result would have been different, but as it stands, Denajar's got the prize, and that's where it counts for those that backed it. Number 3 Denajar, Damien Oliver gives Damien a winning double. Raced by the Winyara Stud Syndicate, managed by Mr. A. Krishnan and Datak Dr. Hussain Awang. A 3-year-old bay colt by Dane Hill out of Bianca Lancia, a Mill Reef mare, so he's beautifully bred, this horse, Denajar, trained by Lee Friedman. And that's his first glimpse of form for a little time, Denajar.
And Step Dancer. They stand well now, they're off and racing. Dwelling at the start, Zevante. Full Mean from the widest gate was slow out. Aloha Run going for the lead from Reputed Groom Moranti. Dynamic Blaze is showing pace on the outside, the orange trained horse, but kicking up inside him is Gunshot and also Ken's Court. They're keeping him 4 wide. Just behind them, Step Dancer around Privy Council, Reputed Groom from Shoshaloza in the black and silver. Further back, Moranti being followed well back on settling by Kukulin Superhero. Second last, Zevante and Full Mean is last. 1,200 metres to go, and Gunshot took over, joined by Step Dancer, who's been wide that first portion, and they clapped the speed on a length to Dynamic Blaze. Aloha Run fourth on the rails. A length away on the outside came Ken's Court from Reputed Groom, the inside, then Privy Council. 2 lengths away, Moranti on the inside of Shoshaloza, and Superheroes 3 wide behind them. Third last over on the inside, Zevante. Kukulin's got back to second last, and with 800 metres to travel, Full Mean is at the tail, about 10 off the front. They race over the crossing at the 800, and the leader is Gunshot, 3/4 in front of Step Dancer. A length and a half, Aloha Run having the nice trail. Then came Dynamic Blaze, followed by Ken's Court around Reputed Groom. Trying to improve Shoshaloza from Privy Council, Moranti. Well back the others, still fourth last is Zevante from Superhero. Kukulin, this well-tried one, second last. It's being hard ridden, and last is Full Mean. 400 out at the top of the straight. Gunshot rolled off. Aloha Run trying hard to get through. No, the gap closed again. While this happened, going to the lead now, Step Dancer, tackled by Dynamic Blaze. Ken's Court. Moranti from a mile back's pushing through, needs an ounce of luck. Kukulin can't reach them. Those out wide aren't doing enough. In front, Step Dancer from Dynamic Blaze, who joins it and goes to the lead. Dynamic Blaze in front. Ken's Court starting to lunge late. Step Dancer fights back, but Dynamic Blaze won. Dynamic Blaze by a neck, seconds close. The winners between the heads there of Step Dancer, the inside, who I favour for second, just over the outside. Ken's Court, close up behind them, Shoshaloza, and also Reputed Groom. Aloha Run, another horse not getting an inside passage here today, has had no luck, followed by Kukulin, which made some ground from Zevante, followed home by Gunshot, Superhero, Privy Council, Full Mean and Moranti. That's a top win because that horse was sent hard out of the barrier by Bobby Alyssa to try and get over. He was caught 4 wide early, and then he had to ease back, and it's been a beautiful ride by Bobby Alyssa on Dynamic Blaze, trained by Pat Cassett Orange. Pat is one of the leading trainers in that district, the central western district of New South Wales. And
of the journey, runners settle in the stalls. Now they're ready, and away they go. And missing the start was Vesti a couple of lengths. Court Dancer slow to get going. One of the first out, Razor Blade towards the inside with Pin Panty, who began well. And away quickly also on the outside, Lady of the Manor going up towards the lead, being followed closely a bit further back in the field there by Jingle Bells, who's on the outside of Hit and Giggle. A length and a half further back in the field is Kirkberger, and they were followed by Carriana getting back in the field. Lady Lexus is in behind them. A length and a half then to Fleischer. Court Dancer second last, and Vesti is last of all. Gimmick takes the leader, coming up towards the 800 metre mark. A half length to Lady of the Manor, 2.5 lengths to Pin Panty. A length and a half smidgen on the outside of Razor Blade, followed by Hit and Giggle, Mary Bell. Further back in the field of Jingle Bells. Bells, followed closely by Lady Lexus, is over on the inside of Cariana, followed by Kirkberger. Fleischer second last and Court Dancer last of all. Rounding the turn, 600 metres left to go, and Gimmick travelling well. Leads nearly a length on Lady of the Manor as they straighten up a length and a half. Razor Blade, Pin Panty over on the outside, starting to run on, being followed by Smidgen. Further back in the field down the outside is Mary Bell. Cariana behind them looking for a run. Lady Lexus, they run down with 300 to go. Lady of the Manor's taken the lead. Pin Panty on the outside and coming through between horses. Razor Blade running on well, and also Smidgen down the outside putting in a good run. Razor Blade, Pin Panty to centre, Smidgen deeper on the track. Here comes Cariana with a big run. Cariana motoring down the outside has grabbed the lead with 100 to go and draws away Cariana for a big win. Cariana wins it well by 2 lengths to Smidgen. Third home either Razor Blade or Court Dancer, who's come from second last. Behind them Hit and Giggle, then Fleischer. Further back in the field came Lady Lexus, followed next home in the event by Mary Bell and Jingle Bells. Pin Panty weakened right out of it. And well back in the field, Lady of the Manor, followed by Vesti and Kirkberg, and Gimmick has run last. Cariana, the winner, has bolted in. Number 12, Cariana. In the 7th of the afternoon, in very easy fashion. Cariana first. Stand by for placings. And there's Cariana, motoring down the outside. Raced by C. Gruicus, R. Hick, R. H. McMillan, D. O'Brien, R. Kelly and N. Lamb, and ridden by Stephen King. Number 12, Cariana is the winner. Second placing goes to number 3. That is Smidgen, ridden by Stephen King. Let's check the rider on Cariana. Mr. Brett Preble, he missed a couple of rides through the day. Yes, he did ride it. Brett Preble aboard Cariana, and of course Stephen King on Smidgen. And the number 17 was third, and that was, let's check that, Court Dancer is third. So 12, 3, 17 official placings after the running of the Great Western. He must have just got there.
Runner in the All Cerise. Sovereign Bullet's the other one in Cerise and White. They're off and racing now. And from the inside, beginning very well, Private Eye is going for the lead, showing speed, though, Sovereign Bullet. And it's driving through in the early part, and Magic Letter's going to head them all off. Magic Letter goes to the early lead on settling down from on the outside, Silver Spy, and trapped out wide as Sovereign Bullet from Finance. Then came over on the inside, Private Eye, followed by Deferred. Further back came Yalmin on the outside of Spyman, and 3 lengths last is Opanui. They've got 700 metres to go, and the pilot Magic Letter, 3/4 to Silver Spy, third Sovereign Bullet, fourth on the inside is Private Eye from Deferred, then Finance starting a run 4 wide, Yalmin, followed by Spyman, and last is Opanui on the turn, 450 out, and it's Magic Letter, the leader, coming around the turn. Magic Letter by a length on the outside, coming at him strongly now, Silver Spy, pushing between them now. Private Eye gets out, wider on the track is Sovereign Bullet, nothing else really making ground. Coming after this leader on the outside, Sovereign Bullet. Oh, the inside horse has almost fallen, it dipped and nearly fell, Magic Letter, eased out of the race, it may well have broken down, and out wide Yalmin swept upon the lead when that happened, and Yalmin has raced on for an easy victory by 2 lengths. Sovereign Bullet just second over Opanui, close up Finance, and then came Spyman, Silver Spy, followed by Deferred. Now let's have a look at Magic Letter. Oh, unfortunately this horse has broken a leg, looks to have broken a hock here. Magic Letter, the rider has quickly dismounted, and Spyman was knocked out of the race when that happened. Most unfortunate.
And thank you very much here at Flemington, a wonderful scene. The crowd must be close to 100,000 people here for this 1997 Foster's Melbourne Cup. As most of the runners have gone in, we're waiting for Harbour Dews, one of the English horses, to come up to position. Scrupulous is still out of line. And also Sunny Lane and Ebony Grove drawn the extreme outside. A brilliant winner here in the McKinnon on Saturday last, Might and Power. The Tate favourite at 580. A magnificent victory in the Caulfield Cup. Drawn perfectly in barrier 2, Marble Halls, who was in the favourites line, or on the favourites line for most of the wagering, right from the inception of the weights here, is nicely drawn in barrier 5. Her Majesty the Queen's horse, Arabian Story, lovely horse, a big grey. And so Count Shivers and Ebony Grove will come up, the last 2 to be positioned. And this gruelling race over the 3,200 metre course, a Group 1 event, about to get underway. Scrupulous is ready. Count Shivers has gone up. Ebony Grove will come up to the extreme outside. Grandmaster standing up well. And barrier 4. Ebony Grove just moving in. Ebony Grove going forward. Sky Bow is the inside runner. And they're all locked away and set for action in the Foster's Melbourne Cup for 1997. Line is good. And they're off. Great start in the Melbourne Cup. And Might and Power, one of the first to jump out towards the inside. Away quickly also Marble Halls and Magnet Bay got out pretty well. Crying Game just in behind them. Court of Honour looking for a posse early in the piece, and coming across from the outside there is Bonsai Pipeline and Sunny Lane as prominent as they race down the straight, followed by Linesman. In behind them Sapio and Doremus is dropping back, being followed by Ebony Grove, who's dropped out to last as they link up with the course proper in the run down the straight the first time. Might and Power is the leader by length. The Marble Halls is over on the inside. Close in behind them, in a bit further back in the field is Crying Game, and they were followed closely by Court of Honour up in that leading group, being followed by Linesman, and Viali is prominent a bit further back in the field. Sunny Lane is up there with them, followed by Yobro and Sapio on the outside of Magnet Bay. Markham in behind them, Always Aloof, followed by Arabian Story and Grandmaster. Then Bonsai Pipeline, Harbour Jews in that group, followed by Alpha. And further back in the field, at the head of the others then, well back behind them is Count Shivers as they go out of the straight, followed by Doremus, a long way back in the field, followed by Sky Bow. Scrupulous is second last, and Ebony Grove is last of all, sweeping along the riverside section of the track. And Might and Power travelling easily in the lead, about a length and a half in advance of Marble Halls, who's second. Close in behind them, Linesman on the outside of Court of Honour. They're followed closely by Crying Game. Yobro was further back on the inside, a length to Sunny Lane, being closely attended there. Over on the inside by Markham, followed by Viali, Sapio behind the Magnet Bay, Bonsai Pipeline, Always Aloof. Grandmaster over on the inside, then Arabian Story, followed by Count Shivers and Doremus back behind them, Harbour Jews. Ebony Grove is sneaking up along the inside, being followed after a couple of lengths by Alpha, who's well back at that point. And they're followed by Sky Bow, and last of all is Scrupulous. Round the back they go, Might and Power in charge, leading a length to Crying Game, who's close handy, followed by Marbles. Horses had a lovely run so far. Linesman behind them. Court of Honour being followed by Yobro, a length and a half further back in the field to Markham. And they're followed closely around the outside. Then making up some ground is Magnet Bay. And he was followed further back in the field by Bonsai Pipeline. Grandmasters on the inside. Arabian Story, Always Aloof behind them. Further back in the field then came Count Shivers. Harbour Jews a long way off the lead, as is Doremus, in the field is well strung out. Ebony Grove's a mile back. He must be 20 lengths off the lead, followed by Alpha and Sky Bow. And Scrupulous is last of all. Might and Power making every post a winner at the 1,000. Led by a length the Crying Game. Marble Halls has had a lovely run on the inside of Linesman, just behind them Yobro. Then Court of Honour being followed closely by Viali, coming into the picture from a long way back, followed next by Grandmaster. Then Magnet Bay, and around the outside is Bonsai Pipeline, and he was followed by Doremus, starting to gain ground from a fair way back. Back in behind them, then at the head of the rails came Ebony Grove, who's a mile off the lead still, and so is Alpha as they're making the home turn. Count Shivers is well back in the field, and Linesman has moved up on the outside to tackle Might and Power as they set sail for home. At the top of the straight, Might and Power still the leader from Linesman. Yobro, Grandmaster, Ebony Grove coming through on the inside with a strong run. Doremus deeper on the track, Sapio, and then came Viali, Arabian Story, followed by Sky Bow and Markham from a long way back. Might and Power is the leader in the Melbourne Cup. He's a length to Linesman, and Doremus finishing strongly, followed by Ebony Grove along the inside. Then Markham. Might and Power is the leader. Doremus tried to peg him back, and then came Linesman, followed by Markham. Might and Power in front, close to home. Doremus coming at him on the outside. They go to the line. Oh, Doremus and Might and Power in a tight photo. Doremus, Might and Power, brutal in it. Doremus' rider thinks he's won. Markham maybe third, just ahead of on the outside there. Harbour Jews followed by Linesman, and back in behind them Arabian Story, followed by Sky Bow. Ebony Grove behind them, Sapio, followed next by Court of Honour, Magnet Bay, and then further back in the field a Grandmaster, Always Aloof and Scrupulous, Viali, followed by Marble Halls, who failed to stay. Crying Game, Sunny Lane, Yobro, Bonsai Pipeline, Count Shivers, and one of the last homers, Alpha. Number 3 has lasted. Number 3, Might and Power, has beaten Doremus by an inch, and I'm sure the boy on Doremus thought he won. He put his hand up in the air, but Might and Power has held off his challenge to win by a nose. All placings in the Melbourne Cup for 1997. Might and Power has prevailed. What a determined run by Doremus. If you look at the photo again, you'll see the rider of Doremus putting a clenched fist in the air to think he won, but it was not to be, and Might and Power has just held him out. Wonderful Melbourne Cup And the double, the Caulfield and Melbourne Cups double to Might and Power, a brilliant ride by Jimmy Cassidy. Coming back to scale, look at Doremus, what a gallant horse he is. He has motored home. And all placings, number 16 has run third. And that is Markham's been a very good run. Here they are going to look at this for a finish. Look at that. Might and Power, a nose to Doremus, gallant in defeat, and Markham in third place. The numbers are 3, 2 and 16. 3, 2 and 16. Might and Power the winner at $5.70 and $2.90. Number 2 Doremus at $3.70. And number 16 Markham at $8.90. Might and Power the winner of the 1997 Foster's Melbourne Cup in a tremendous finish. And there's not much doubt that one more hop and Doremus would have beaten him. He's just got there. Might and Power. Jack Denham, the winning trainer. Jimmy Cassidy, the winning rider. Raced by Mr. Nick Moriartis, by Zabeel out of Benediction. Out of a mare called, yes, by Zabeel out of the mare Benediction, who's by Day Is Done, an Irish sire. Jimmy Cassidy, the winning rider, rode the race of his life. Just held out the challenge by Doremus. And Markham, it's been a very good run in third place. Linesman weakening just behind them after looking a big threat at the top of the straight. Now here's the overhead photo of the race as we go down to Jim Cassidy to see what he has to say.
It's the first time I've ever tried to interview a jockey. Greg Hall thought he won the race and then your number went up and you nearly jumped out the saddle.
Oh, look, I just waited for the number. What a great thrill, mate. What a horse. I love the horse.
Well, you've
Win this
deserved
for Jack
it.
Denham is just unbelievable.
Jimmy, you've deserved it. You've been through a lot of hard times in the last couple of years, but this tops it all, mate, doesn't it? The big one.
The plan is, Betsy, don't lay down, mate.
You never have you?
I went show jumping and they taught me one thing, go hard and go home.
Good luck,
I'm
mate.
going home,
So some great scenes in the mounting yard. Nick Moriartis, the owner, has just rushed out, and I can tell you that most people down here probably thought that Doremus might have got up, but Might and Power has become the 10th horse to win the Caulfield and Melbourne Cup double. What a performance. I suppose there were reasons that we all look for to see why this horse couldn't win the Melbourne Cup, but he's proven that he could, and now he's proven that he is the best horse in Australia. Outstanding performance. His trainer, of course, Jack Denham, won't speak to the media. I've already checked that. There's no real point in going over and talking to Jack because he is going to keep his thoughts private as he walks through with good friend Vic Beitzel. Might and Power coming back to scale. What a great finish. That is one of the great finishes in Melbourne Cup history. He is a very private man, as I said, Jack Denham. He hasn't spoken to the media for a long time, and not even a victory in the greatest race of them all is going to make him change his mind. Jimmy Cassidy, what a story this is. His life was in turmoil just a couple of years ago. He's bounced back. He's won the Caulfield Cup. Now he's won the Melbourne Cup, just as he did 14 years ago when he came across as a young fellow from New Zealand and rode a horse called Kiwi. That day, he came from the back of the field. On this Melbourne Cup day of 1997, he was in front all the way. His horse just kept on finding. Greg Hall, the new dad, comes back, bows his head. So close. What a great 24 hours it would have been for Gregory Michael Hall, with the birth of a new daughter, and oh so close to another Melbourne Cup victory. Nick Moriartis, the owner of Might and Power, is down in front of us at the moment, and we might see if we can get through this crush so that Nick can speak to the world. And here he is, chatting now.
Thanks, Jimmy Cassidy. Thanks, Jack Denham. Thanks, Alan Denham.
Is this better than selling potatoes?
Huh?
Nick, tell me something. Were you worried when Crying Game took him on and then Linesman?
Of course I was worried against Simon, yeah. How can a horse, they all said he couldn't do it, didn't they?
Well, he was a sitting...
Every one of you said he couldn't do it, and he's done it. Terrific.
Nick, he just kept on finding over the last little bit. Is that the longest 3.5 minutes of your life?
You better believe it. He's a super horse.
What about when...
Super horse, and you know what? He's good for racing. It's good for racing to have a horse like this again.
Nick, when they went past the line... When they went past the line, Nick, did you think you'd won?
No, I wasn't sure. I honestly sure. My son's standing out first with one of Dad. And I wasn't sure. I thought we went down, but...
Can I just tell you, can I just say something? No one deserves it more than this man here. No one in the country. No one in the country. No one deserves it more.
Emotional scenes being seen around the world here. Well, just at the moment, there's 500 million people watching this around the world. Your horse is the most famous racehorse in the world right now.
He's famous, but I tell you what, I still owe it to the people that work him. I owe it to Jack Denham, Alan Denham, and I owe it to Jimmy Cassidy. Nobody else but them.
Jack is a private man. He's keeping his thoughts to himself.
Fellas, let's be honest about all this. The proof of the pie is always eating. There's the results out there. The man doesn't have to say a word. He says it all out there for you, and that's what's good for racing again.
I think you've summed it up
Anybody
beautifully.
can come out here and say, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, and you'll look like an idiot in the end. The man says nothing. He's done it, and thank God for it. It's fantastic.
Nick Moreitis, fantastic. Well done.
Thank you very much, Melbourne. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here, fellas.
The owner of Might and Power, the winner of the Foster's Melbourne Cup of 1997. And there you can see the riders getting on the scales. 3 cheers going on down here, and Des Gleeson going through the important matter of trying to find the correct weight signal or otherwise. We might try and catch up with the winning rider, Jimmy Cassidy, in just a moment. Alan Denham, we'll have him in just a moment as well. We'll see if we can get in and have a chat to Jim Cassidy, because this truly is a remarkable story in racing. It is just amazing to think that this man has come back after all that he's been through, and we might see if we can get a word to Jim.
Correct weight.
Correct weight has been declared by Mr. Des Gleeson. Weight is right, and Jim Cassidy will be with us very shortly. I wonder what they were thinking, the connections of Doremus. When they went past the post, Greg Hall waved his arm in the air, and Dan, I think he thought he had his second Melbourne Cup.
Yeah, I think he made everyone on track believe that he had to. It was a spine-tingling finish, and Might and Power's got the bob. $5.70 and $2.90 is what he will return for a $1 investment. 2 Doremus, $3.70, and third Markham at $8.90 for the place. The Quinella, $29.10 on the Cup. The Exacta, $46.40. The trifecta to come, the running double for 12 and 3 will pay $245.70. So a weight on the trifecta will be quite a reasonable dividend. 3, 2 and 16. Pete, 4th in was Harbour Dews, who ran a great race. 5th in was number 14 Linesman, who ran a bold race, and 6th in was Arabian Story.
Yeah, but the best run in the race, I suppose, well, there was an inch difference between the best run and the second best run, and Lee Friedman's here quickly. What are the emotions after that?
I'm pretty down. I thought he'd got there. I thought he got there right on the line. But take nothing away from the winner. It was a magnificent. I think there were 2 great, outstanding horses for the finish out.
Did you think he'd won, Lee?
I thought he'd won. And when Greg sprang up after the line, he's usually pretty good in the finish. I thought he got there.
Hard luck.
Yeah, no worries. Okay.
Lee Friedman, the trainer of Doremus, beaten a lip in the Melbourne Cup. Here's Mark Aston with winning jockey Jimmy Cassidy.
Yes, thank you, Peter. Jim, how are you feeling now? What a wonderful moment, and probably one of the greatest finishes in Melbourne Cup history.
Yeah, look, what a... first time in my life I've been speechless, to be honest. You know, it's meant a lot. I've been very, very focused this last week, and thanks, Danny. You know, to win this for myself, yeah, I've won a Melbourne Cup, but to win it for Jack Denham is... it's better than icing on the cake. I don't know how to say it, but, you know, Jack's been... I don't get emotional, but I'm very emotional at the moment. It's for Jack's support since I've been back, and he's... thanks, Shane. Thanks, mate. For Jack's support since I've been back has, to me, been overwhelming, and he said to me, he said, look, stick with me. He said, we've got a lot to happen in the next, you know, 12 months, 2 years, and just to win for Jack and Alan, and you know, it's just marvellous. And my good mate, if you're watching, Malcolm Aab, and his very, very personal friend that's always been there helping me through the tough times 2 years ago, and he was here this morning helping me have a rub here, and I love you. I know you're watching. I love you all.
Mate, Jack doesn't talk to the media. We know.
Further back, Eastern Symphony Business.
Like to see them rewarded. set, they're off. Gifted Guru jumped in the air at the start and missed it by about a half length. Is mustering speed now as Sunderbank and Bozeman show good pace, and then Alaskan Lad easing in behind the speed. Sunderbank's going to lead, still wide out but crossing over. Dropping to fifth in and being ridden along there is Muzwahi, followed by Bargain. Grosvenor Lane is deep towards the tail of the field from Northern Talk, and last with 1,000 metres to go is Atomic Beach. Sunderbank leads the way by a length. Gifted Guru got crossed and came straight off the inside to be 3/4 away second. Third is Alaskan Lad over on the inside of Bozeman, who's got up to be about 3 off the lead as they go by the 800. A further 2 lengths away, Northern Talk. Bargain on its outside and racing 3 wide, Muzwahi, followed by Grosvenor Lane. About 8 lengths off the lead.